Hey guys, and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make quick barbecue chicken. To get started, we're going to make our barbecue seasoning blend. First, we're going to start with 2 tablespoons of paprika. I highly recommend using a smoked paprika as it adds a really nice flavor to any of your dishes. Next is 2 tablespoons of coconut sugar. Coconut sugar is great because it's low glycemic. But if you have any other unrefined sugar on hand, you can use that as well. The reason we're using sugar in this recipe is it's going to give it that nice glaze that barbecue chicken has. Next up is our garlic powders. We're going to use 2 teaspoons. And I prefer granulated garlic. I think it just has a really nice flavor. And 2 teaspoons of chili powder. And 1 teaspoon of onion powder or granulated onion. And 1 teaspoon of salt. I like using pink Himalayan salt. Now, if you have been advised by your practitioner that to be on a low sodium diet, you can go ahead and leave this out and it's still fantastic without it. If you prefer something with a little more heat, you can also add a pinch of cayenne pepper to your blend. Otherwise, you can add it as you're sprinkling for maybe half the family or half the servings. Just pop on your lid and give it a good shake. I really like using mason jars for multiple things, but also mainly for my seasonings. You can find these plastic lids separately, which I prefer because they're easier to clean. Just give it a nice shake. Once you give this recipe a try, if you decide it's something that you and your family love, the next time you make the blend, I highly recommend that you either double it or triple it, which is going to save you a lot of time in the kitchen, and you'll have a great blend of seasoning on hand for your next dinner. Okay, so now we're going to get started on our quick barbecue chicken. We're going to start with 1 tablespoon of oil. I'm using avocado oil, but olive oil also works really well here. And we're going to use about 1 tablespoon on this side of the chicken. I'm using just over a pound of chicken here, and we're going to give that a nice toss just to make sure everything's coated. So we're going to flip it over. And we will go ahead and add another tablespoon to this side. You can pre-marinate this if you prefer, and that way it's ready to go for dinner time. Okay, now let's add it to our roasting pan. So we're just going to spread this out. And if you're following the optimal immunity plan, I highly recommend that you use chicken thighs, as the darker meat does contain more minerals. And with roasting, I like to just open my chicken just to make sure it cooks evenly and quicker. We're going to go ahead and pop this in the oven at 375 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, so now we're going to take our butternut squash and we're going to add a half a tablespoon of oil. In this case, I'm using avocado oil. You can use up to a tablespoon if necessary, but we definitely do not want to see any just drizzling over. Make sure you measure out your oil. And we're going to take about a tablespoon of our barbecue seasoning and just give it a nice dust. And I like to just go in with my hands and mix this, but of course you can use tongs as well. And what's really nice about this dinner is you can cook the butternut squash at the same time as the roasted chicken. Just prepared it on a separate sheet pan, pop it in the oven, 375 degrees for 35 minutes. Okay, so I took the chicken out at 25 minutes and allowed it to rest for 10 minutes while the butternut squash was continuing to cook. Now that both of them are out of the oven, we're gonna go ahead and plate up. I really like to pair these two with a leafy green, and in this case I had romaine lettuce on hand, but spinach or baby kale also works really great here. This is a recipe that you can easily double and take any leftovers and use quinoa the next day for a really nice salad with the butternut squash and chicken. You can also add some black beans to that, or even into a burrito or a wrap. You can easily shred the leftover chicken or the chicken you prepared for the following day and put that into a sprouted grain wrap or a gluten-free wrap if that's your preference. So give this a go and let me know how you like it. See you in the kitchen.